5 minutes just to take care of a couple of things that Kiran and Srinivas I think discussed in their discussions. So first of all, I'm more of a reverse candidate, where it's basically from a manufacturing background, came into technology industry and been working there for quite some time. So I think most of you are from IT, want to go out of it, right? And some obviously want to continue, but I'm a reverse candidate. Was in manufacturing, came into technology and been there since quite some time. So I'm currently working for IBM, so in the business analytics and service line, basically doing consulting for business analytics, be it developing roadmaps for for analytics, be it developing proof of concepts for the companies, working on proposals with the sales team and things like that. So that's where my most of the time focused on. I think one of them told that having a sales experience is really critical, and I think that really helps because I think from after coming from ISB, you always want to do fapping, right? Okay, I will consult the client and tell him what should be his business strategy, what should be his IT strategy, whatever. It doesn't work, right? You need to have some bit of experience to really be able to say what you are recommending a client, right? You just can't come and say, okay, 5 forces says this, okay, go ahead and it doesn't work, right? And especially if you start talking those jargon, people will kick you out the very first minute that you talk about porter or 3C, 3P, whatever it is there, right? I've even forgotten all of those. So those things don't work. So what you need to really have, I think I also read an article recently which said you need to have professional experience and professional expertise, right? So basically saying that you need to have an area of expertise and some experience behind that. So being there, done that, you have to develop that in whatever area that you are. Be it IT services, IT consulting, product marketing, whatever, right? You have to be able to show that okay, you have done something in that area and hence are able to go forward with that. So consulting requires even more, right? Because it's not just that you are doing something internal and whatever you come up with is accepted by your stakeholders. It doesn't work like that. You have to show expertise in that, and expertise doesn't come just by books. It has to have some dirty in hands, without which you will not come. And dirty in hands could mean any technology, right? Technology, product, service, whatever it could. And so when you go for consulting, and you're talking about, let's say, business analytics, as in my case, so I have to have worked in things which work in the industry, right? So basically, when in the courses you do things on jump and all those things, right? So jump with crystal ball and associated products. So at some point in time, you should be able to speak that okay, these are the things that you know, can obviously ramp up and take up more knowledge on, but you should have, one is that ability to work or willingness to work, I would say, right? I think people talk about attitude, so that's very important. It should not be that, okay, I'm just here to give gyan, right? I'll just do gyan and someone else is there to work, so that doesn't work. Be ready to work on areas that are exciting to you, and at the end of it, nothing is like, I don't want to work on Java, I don't want to go to J2, right? Those are things that a lot of you would say, okay, I worked in before ISB, after ISB, I just want to go and stand up in a jacket and just give a presentation to see you. That doesn't work like that, right? So you have to have knowledge, and I think what I'm also saying is, it's not that you have to continue in the same area, right? You have worked in whichever area, you don't have to continue working in that area, but be able to abstract out of that, right? So basically, whenever you work for, let's say, whenever clients work for you, ask a request or a service is a product or thing from you, it's basically for some reason, right? So all the areas like ADM, what they call as application development maintenance, is again from cost reduction standpoint, right? So when you would have your initial resume, you would say, okay, work for Java, J2E, did this coding and all those things. You have to be able to abstract out of that and give a more business picture that, okay, I think Kiran mentioned, no, don't do a 90% reduction but to some extent it is really required, because see what the biggest policy of engineers, I would say, because I myself am an engineer, is that our humility, right? So we say, yeah, I didn't do anything else, I just did a coding for that at the end of it, right? So I don't know what's the impact of that. You have to be able to abstract out of that, at least to be able to say that this is a business on which you work, right? You should not be saying that, okay, I just worked on code, did a fabulous code, the code had this runtime, all those things. It is required, but if you are not able to abstract out of that, you'll get killed. That's where I say have a technology base which is strong, but also you have to add a layer of business over to that, think that okay, this is where I really work, this is why my work was really required. So that balance has to get, because that's where I find myself lucky and unlucky from both standpoints. So as I said, that I'm from more of a manufacturing background, but have never done coding apart from my CS101 in Fortran 77, right? Apart from that, I've never done any coding. So I miss out on things which are required in the industry. People talk about it, which I miss out, but at the same time, I find myself that okay, I don't indulge on those things also, right? That's also a very critical part. We have to have a balance between these two. That's when you will be able to be that okay, I can understand business. I have done my MBA. I have business. not overemphasizing Portal or anyone, but I'm able to understand business, can help you relate your business problem, your business solution. That's what I'm focusing on. So I think that's as a backdrop. So I work for IBM in the business analytics and consulting practice. So basically, business analytics as a quick domain is around working with the data, helping them, right? So I think IT companies are all trying to say, okay, we want to develop a consulting practice, but when the client says, okay, IT companies and consulting, oh, get lost, we'll go for a business, McKinsey, BCG and all those things, right? That's what, when any IT company will say that I want to do consulting, they'll say, okay, hold on, we have consulting people to come and talk to us about that, right? So people are, all these technology firms are trying to get towards that, but I think they are trying to have a right path. So there are companies who have put up specific consulting groups which have been or have not been successful, and a lot of companies are using business analytics as a path towards driving to and speaking to the CMOs and CFOs or the CEOs of the company. Right? That's one thing that's happening. Prior to IBM, I worked with HP, helping help set up their captive analytics practice, and about 500 odd people currently. So basically around various domains of analytics, be it product marketing was one of them, research, advanced analytics and things like that, help set up their marketing operations practice in China. Prior to that, I had a very short, not short, 2 years stint with a venture capital company called Trilogy. So they used to sell analytics on a business services model. So basically what they would say is that they will go to a client saying that, okay, we'll help improve your pricing, and if that helps in your overall revenue enhancement, give us a percentage of that, right? Forget technology, forget anything behind what goes behind that. We are helping you, we are selling you business services. If you sell more, give us more. If we help reduce your cost, give us that. All technology, jargon, everything goes behind that, right? That's what that company used to do. It's a very risky business to be in, so, and hence the company, I think, died off to a great extent. Prior to that, I was in corporate sales in Dubai for a company called Jumbo Electronics. A very short stint, but still call it the most valuable experience that I had. So having sales experience, no doubt, is important, but it's very difficult. I think people are built for that, people are not built for that. So I remember going along with one of my sales executives to a client, and it's like, there was, okay, what will I get? Boss, I'm an MBA, I've brought a business case for you, and you're talking to me, what will I get? I means personally I get. That's what the person was asking. And that's a tough time, right? So you're out of campus, going to a client side, and the person is asking, what am I going to get, right? So Dubai is a different market at all, and a lot of personal favors are exchanged for the sales, right? And things differ across the industry. So having a sales acumen, sales experience is very important. Have that at any point of time in your life, very important, and try to see when you are able to get that. But try at least be sales focused, if not having a real sales experience. So that's one thing. Before that, before ISP, I worked with Tata Motors as in a manufacturing setup, manufacturing environment, actually working on the production shop and working around that. And when I was applying to ISB, I used to sit along with my colleagues and I have to make essays for ISB. What do I say? At the end of it, I just work on the machine shops, working with making sure that production is up time, there's no shortages, there's no stoppages of line and all those things. So how do I say what business I have done? So don't worry about what you have done, right? So I think it's important to be able to, again, that abstract out what you have done, be it a coding that you have done or be it whatever you have done. Give it more of why you are doing it. It's not about what exact code that you've done, that's not important at all. It's important to the extent that you know that, but when you are able to convey, when you're conveying, and if you write too technical about things, people say, okay, what techie are you? I'm not looking for him for now, right? Later on I'll take him. So yeah, so that was my experience from Tata Motors, and I'm a graduate in mechanical engineering from IIT Bombay. So that's a brief about me, and I think we'll take more questions. Any questions for now? Otherwise,